Greetings everyone, Angrade here with another Advanced Wars These Ruin Tiny Wars replay. This replay was submitted to me, and I forget who submitted it to me. Either way, spawn on the south side as the yellow Greyfield. We got Benchwarmer. Spawn on top right side as the red Snowind. We got Slavodan. So let's go and get probably talk about the COs. Greyfield, of course. Actually, this is not the buff Greyfield from the cartridge counterpart, so this is cartridge Greyfield. We got standard boarding cost, 3 radius, 30, 60, 60. All units get plus 10, plus 10. Naval units, seaplanes, battlecopters, and the CO zone get plus 10, plus 40. And of course, provide all that global, not to mention full ammo, fuel, material recovery. No free unweighted spawns from temporary seaports and airports. So cartridge Greyfield. For Snowind, of course, a custom CO, standard boarding cost for 1 radius, 30, 60, 60. All units get 1 health recovery, fuel and ammo gets recovered as well. Air units get plus 30, plus 30, and naval 4 deploy infantry and mech units. For its power, choose one situation with 60 MG. You can fire off a black bomb, or you can deploy unweighted COs units from ground and from airports and from bases. Note for this replay specifically, there is a option to Greyfield. Got it. Or original Greyfield, I should probably the best way to put it. Cartridge Greyfield, not buffed one. Either way, why does it seem a little bit slower? I think I'm just going crazy. Yeah, why does it seem like the movement seems a little bit sluggish? Like I had the autoplay on and it's still the same normal speed. Yeah, I think the pause time got broken. I feel noticeable delays between everything. Give me one more. Let's just... that actually didn't save. Okay. It feels like it's going a little bit slower than normal. I meant Greyfield, that Greyfield is for testing. It's a custom rule set. Got it. Could that also be breaking the autoplay? Because it feels like it's not going the normal fast pace I usually have set. Like, there's a noticeable delay. Wait. I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but the action time is... okay. I'm not sure if you guys can see it all too well. But the actions, there's actually a lot of actions going on right here. This operations is actually... like, every operation is actually causing 4 moves. There's a lot of invisible actions happening in the background for some odd reason. This replay may actually be a live on the bug side. I wonder if I can replicate it. Look. Nothing happens. There's a lot of extra actions happening per action, if that makes any sense. Well, guess what? I'll watch this in a little bit in slow-mo. I just don't like hearing all the clicking sound when I'm trying to do and take next action. But either way... you now have a bike CO'd right there. Rated 4 deployed infantry units right next to her, as you can see right there. Got 4 deployed from this base there. Got tank infantry and infantry. So tank now in the field by Greyfield. He may seal it. He does support battlecopter and seaplanes. Battlecopter is going to be very reasonable. He can, of course, buff up his naval units, but there's a lot of shores here to prevent movement for any blue water ships. So probably going for sealing a battlecopter be best friend, though sealing a tank is still pretty decent. Got a tank there, bike. Got an anti-air down south now. CO bike straight forward, and with the infantry units nearby, the mech can be deployed next to the mech. I think if I remember correctly, it's spawned wherever the base is closest to the unit, if I remember correctly, or the closest valid one, or maybe it was clockwise versus counterclockwise. I can't remember. There is actually a pattern to it. I remember reading about it, but I just don't remember what it was. Bike tank was from the field, does get some good shots there. Greyfield, of course, capture this comm tower up here, get a nice little firepower bonus. This comm tower here is still despicably neutral, which can still go either way. Closest valid one, got it. Yeah, I thought it was something like that. Of course, these players can refuel this recon to get a 5 health recon. Granted, that's effectively a value of 2,000, and deploying a rig to resupply would be 5,000, so not economical. To be fair, oh wait, I forgot, Snowind can also resupply it. Never mind. Speaking of economical, that's economical. So the 6 health recons pushes way forward. Nice little bonus there for Snowind. Anti-air will be still hard counter to the recon, but at least the recon can pose a decent threat to all the infantry. Yep. I realized at the last moment. Tank pushing up north. Anti-air takes out 2 elf infantry. Must not have been able to park itself on top of the wasteland there. It is rough terrain even for tracked units like forests. Battlecopter. We've got a mech down south. Bike heading over. Does forward deploy a mech there. Both of these seals are currently at 0 energy. So far, just small skirmishes in this game. Tank, mech, and infantry. Does take a good shot against that infantry unit there. Looks like every unit's action is taking additional 2 or 3 actions. Rig, tank, and mech. So I'm going to take a moment. Let's try to shrink this down to 2. Whoop. Did it? Let's just shrink it down to 200. And did it revert back a little bit? Oh no, I think there we go. Now it's moving a bit quicker with the faster pace. That feels a bit more close to normal since it seems like every action is taking 2 actions. And I hit 2, which I think moved forward 2 actions, so... But hopefully it wasn't too bad. There we go, that feels much better. Since every unit action is taking up 2 actions, if I reduce the amount of pause time in half, then it feels a bit more close to normal. Sorry about that. That slower pace was just a little bit painful for me. Battlecopter hits the infantry unit there. Infantry unit does fall back to the airport, but can't be resupplied there. We've got a rig and tank here. Of course, this is, wait, you said it was custom rule set Greyfield, so not sure if he has the, unweighted, ambush spawn temporary airports, all that sort. Got now the comm tower being captured on up. Right now, this tank is being hit by +20/+20. Of course, some of that is from both comm towers getting +10/+10, so the natural +10/+10 is still existent. No, he doesn't? Got it. Does get a good shot there. Right now, he's up to 29 energy, make that 30 energy, so get +1 radius. Takes out the battlecopter. Man, or sort of surprised that mech went down in one shot from the anti-air, even if it's maxed out eventually. He gets bonus damage for full units. Full fuel units. That's interesting. 10% offense for CO units that have full fuel. Alright, we'll just have to keep an eye on a unit that's on top of the city. Right now it's a +30/+40. If it stays alive, we'll see what it looks like. Tank does hit the bike, hits the bike again. I know he has powers and effects for resupplying stuff as a aspect of the CO. Though honestly, that could be a bit more of a Lyn effect, since Lyn is the Logistician. Her theme song is the Supreme Logistician. So that would make more sense for a Lyn just based on lore. Tank. And let's see. One contact is captured, but it looks like the infantry unit is getting hit by a +10/+10, and the comm tower looks like it's not visibly showing here on this infantry unit. Getting some good hits down south. Let's join the tank there. Oh, Logician, not Logistician. Tomato. To be fair, logistics is a very important part of any sort of a military game. Tank, lander, infantry, and artillery. So we've got a land at the deployment field, which can be useful to traversing all the brown water. Plus, Lyn definitely does seem like a Logistician. Does occupy the airport, is still despicably neutral. Still wants a 17 energy. And we do now have Greyfield at max out energy. Will we go for a superpower this turn? Got a rocket recon infantry. Recon's unusual, but the lander can push forward pretty quickly. Problem is, the lander's nowhere nearby. Looks like Greyfield's trying to pull back. Got a number of mechs here to ready to push on forward. Snowind before deploys a mech forward. It's the rig. And this airport was captured by Snowind, so she does have an airport now. Greyfield does not. If needed, Greyfield can always deploy a missile over here and lock down the airport from his safer part of the map. Is this infantry unit here? Gunboat heading down south. The gunboat can be a great way to block the shores. Tank rocket as well, and of course with the 4 deployed mech. It's the anti-air. It's the infantry unit there. Good hit there. Battlecopter hits the infantry unit there. Tank hits the recon. Gunboat does fall back. 6 fuel remaining. Anti-air. Tank and mech. Snowind 424 energy. 28 energy, so no +1 radius. Granted, it doesn't really provide combat bonuses, just a great way to get more power charge going. Good tank shots up here, nice blitz of tanks. Greyfield has a 6 health tank, a 5 health tank, and a full health tank, so he is definitely outnumbered. Mech is somewhat in range. It hit another mech. Got a tank, bike, and another 4 deployed mech, I believe. There's quite a ball of units here by Snowind. Greyfield just may need to fall back. Loads up a tank in that lander, so got a tank and a rocket in that lander. Mech is a good strike on the tank from the mountainside. Rockets put into the forest. No superpower there. Hits the gunboat for 3 points of damage. War tank now established. We have a battlecopter that got deployed in that airport. That's going to cause some issues, possibly. Mech and commit space skip. Takes out the infantry in there, gets +1 veterancy very quickly. Proxy bomber. That's going to cause some issues. Yeah, I think at this point in time, a missile is going to be needed. Got another mech deployed there. Infantry. Of course, pulling out proxy bomber does cost a bit of monies. Anti-air could charge 4 and then pull another anti-air back here. No superpower. Well, that radius is quite large. Oh, mech is knocking inside that gunboat. Pulling another mech. Pulling back. And now Greyfield has 148,000 with 34s. So 150 versus potentially close to around 150 as well. So it's pretty even value on the field. Does block the base. So the anti-air needs to head back down south. Perhaps end its turn on top of cities. An aircraft carrier only has defensive MGs when fighting its aircraft, not the missile launcher like in previous Advanced Wars games, as the more main aspect is the seaplane. Snowwind's trying to fall back here. Got another proxy bomber. Ugh, the proxy bombers are going to cause a lot of issues, won't they? This area just needs to hold the line, let the bombers just try to base lock everything, I guess. It's the mech. Anti-air. Anti-air. Trying to use anti-airs to displace the bombers. It needs another anti-air over here to prevent the bombers from coming up north. T-copter. T-copter drop off over here. Tank, and 4 deployed for an infantry unit there. Snowwind's at 20 energy, just need a little bit more damage on something to get the +1 CO zone. Anti-air's just trying to keep the base protected, sort of. Does interrupt the catch at the airport. Some battle copters spawned out from right here to over here would be quite nice. Push for the rocket, very nice, using all the shores there to boost it forward like that. Bomber strikes the anti-air. Strikes the aircraft carrier, that's an expensive hit. And we'll need to strike both bombers. There's room to hit this bomber here from the shoreline. Obviously the other bomber nearby. And not to mention the space has now 2 tanks and infantry unit there. And I don't think the anti-airs will be in range to interrupt the capture of things as forest. As one time, Greyfield may need to just push forward and go towards this base. You could try protecting the aircraft carrier with the superpower. Aircraft carrier takes a shot against the bomber, puts some damage into it. Sacks a 2 health anti-air there. Got a couple of strikes for rocket. War tank gets lands a war tank next to the rocket. Rocket strikes the mech. Gunboat gets struck. Apparently, actually, there's 2 shores here, so tanks can cross the shorelines. They can bypass the gunboat. Of course, that is roads. But for track units, doesn't make much of a difference. Does take out the aircraft carrier. War tank up north. Forward deploys another mech. Right now it's 24,000 income versus 19. Does take out infantry unit there. Drops off the war tank there. Decides not to take a shot against the rocket. You get him out of power charge there. Snow's at 20 energy. Takes the bomber. Takes out the other bomber. Gets a mech. Lots of power charge there, 47 energy. This is probably what Greyfield needs to do, is smash and grab the HQ. He has some mechs and infantry nearby to capture it up. Mechs, of course, probably go down there. Does take out one of the ATS. We've got, of course, a couple mechs here to do some good work. Bombers existing. He may need to go for a cruiser. He could first strike both those tanks there, but he has now captured that base. Good hits there. Snowind's counterattacking up north. 36 energy at the moment. Another mech. Tank infantry. Leaving 11,000 funds in the bank. Mean tank does fall back, hits the regular tank. Hits the infantry unit there. Greyfield, of course, lost his CO unit. Does got some tanks there. Mech's trying to push their way forward. Hits the tank, hits the tank. Hits the bomber. Gunboat falls back to the seaport. Seaport could be cleared out by the gunboat or by a tank. CO tank heading down south. Taking some losses here. Rocket does get hit. Does the anti-air twice. It's a recon. Bomber takes the mech. Battlecopter, tank, and commits a base skip. Does get the anti-air. Hits the bomber. CO's another tank. Missile, and looks like Greyfield's resigned. It's Angrade saying, keep watching and on to next replay.